Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Top Deck Productions. It's Wednesday. We're playing Standard.
You may have thought you were going to get some playtesting video today. You were wrong.
Sorry.
Dead wrong. I'm not sorry.
Oh, I mean, listen. Anything that results in me sitting here next to you just jawing about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
I can't be that mad about it.
We're just going to have a great old time tonight.
We're starting off in usual fashion with the Jeskai Control Mirror.
That's a fun one. The old Jeskai Control versus Jeskai Control. They're going to do some pile shuffling. Tell Brice to put those legs away. It snowed today.
It did snow today here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's introduce ourselves. My name's Taylor Gunn. I'm here with the handsome John Douglas, Pro Tour competitor, executive producer, password resetter.
All of the above.
I'm just a safe search deactivator.
Got to turn it off, man.
You got to turn it off. You won't get all the right results. Tell you what, been using my search engine to type in Ravnica Allegiance spoilers.
Yeah. It's probably more efficient ways to do it than to just random Google search that, but I appreciate the effort.
I like to give the lesser known websites a chance.
Yeah, just I'm feeling lucky. See what happens.
Yeah, just I'm feeling lucky. One of the better memes I saw was how to cure my gambling addiction, and it's hovering over I'm feeling lucky.
Okay, you ready, party?
Oh man, pretty good. All right. Jesse keeps the 6.
Steve Metz tapped. Island untapped. You know, I'm not a big fan of
clearly ahead here.
Full art lands. But
no?
In terms of it's kind of overdone at this point, especially the Zendikar ones.
Yeah, the Zendikar ones have really been.
But I do like the art on that particular land.
Sure. It's kind of got a royally feel to it. So the first couple turns here, if everybody's playing well, but we're going to see a lot of land casting back and forth. Jesse with the opt.
Several opts.
Well, my colors give it away.
We both opted.
Yeah, we both opted to play opt. So, lots of back and forth of the lands and the opts. This is typical going in the early part of these matches.
They were bragging to each other about how well they were hiding what decks they were playing. In reality, it didn't fool anybody.
And I don't really think it matters.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
so by the time like you have to play a land that shows what deck you're playing, your opponent hasn't had to make any decisions that would change depending on what deck you're playing.
Certainly not in this matchup. Oh, he's taking 2.
Here we go. Jesse's got some action here. Something's happening.
So there's no real penalty to paying 2 here.
Okay.
I don't know what he's got in hand that he would possibly need to pay 2 for. I see a Revitalize. Or is that even a Revitalize?
There's a Revitalize in a graveyard. There's a Drake with a card draw.
There's a Revitalize.
Revitalize number 2 for Jesse.
I just took the 2 for Yucks.
Yeah, he was representing something probably. So now Jesse's Drake is ahead here.
Oh, that's a good mountain.
This is a nice mountain. It's a mountain from Ice Age, and while there is snow in the picture, that is not a snow-covered mountain.
Important distinction. Jesse missing his 5th land drop that turn was
no,
rough.
He hit the mountain.
Yeah, but not having it in his hand meant he couldn't play his own Teferi. But it's actually going to work to his advantage here because he gets to play the Teferi Tuck game. How big is this?
So does he get to tuck the Drake and attack the Teferi?
No, because the Drake's only a 3/4 right now. So you tuck the Teferi. Bryce's Drake's only a 1/4, so you don't actually care about it.
Oh, you tuck the Teferi and defend your own Teferi?
Yes.
Sure.
And because you get to untap 2 lands, you could potentially threaten.
All right, so Jesse's choosing to attack here. representing. Okay, so he gets.
One-sided Drake Destruction. Draw 2 cards.
Apologize there for a little.
I would have definitely played the Teferi, though. I feel like that's a pretty big point. Maybe he's playing around like a negate from Brice, but
Sure.
at that point, you just have to run it out there.
Lava Quota's even a gate of his own. So Brice needs to hit a land drop here, and he'll get to Niv Mizzet next turn. But I don't know that you can Niv... If Jesse resolves this Teferi, which is... If he was afraid last turn, he's definitely got to be afraid this turn of getting it counterspelled.
Yeah. But we still need to run it out there.
You just got to do it. You got to just, you know, feign that you had negate that you wanted to keep up. That's why you didn't run it on 6. All right, let's tuck to Fairy, right?
Yeah, you got to do the Teferi tuck here. He's thinking about it, though. Oh, he's drawing a card.
Interesting.
What? I don't even understand what Brice is doing there. I mean, yeah, you have the card, draw 2 cards, it's fine.
All right, let's see what Brice is going to do here. You can try and resolve Niv Mizzet. He can continue to play Teferi shenanigans because he's going to win that race. Even if he tucks Teferi now.
Yeah, you can just tuck it. So if you tuck Teferi and then play Niv Mizzet, it puts you in great position.
Yeah, can you imagine this deck had Lightning Bolt, man?
All right.
Deck's better with Lightning Bolt in response.
Jesse's got responses here.
I'm going to pitch this Definite Clarion to Flashback Insight.
We just wanted to draw 2 cards really badly.
All right, we're going to jumpstart the Chemistry's Insight.
The pressure goes on stage.
And now we've got Niv Mizzet resolved. Teferi has yet to activate this turn. Here's drawing a card, dealing a damage. Guess not.
Okay, he's just not going to remember his target. So that's that. You are allowed to miss triggers.
Yep. All right, you're allowed to miss triggers, and here we go. So I think we got a tuck, Niv Mizzet.
I think he has Seal Away in hand.
Yes, okay, Seal Away will do it.
Seal Away is a nice answer for it.
Smooth
Niv
and
is getting
clean.
a little bit of value. But I would definitely tuck this to Fairy at this point.
All right, so you're going to draw a card. And we do have to tuck to Fairy.
Tuck him.
We're going to tuck your tap.
All right, there we go. All right. The 3 draws away is a Teferi. All right, so here's an ops that's going to... going to yield us a Teferi death. And that's why you got to tuck it earlier. Because if he did it earlier, then Teferi would have been at a higher loyalty.
They're the exact same.
Right, but he... 1 negate.
Brice looking like add a handful of cards here.
Looks like he has 2 additional Teferis.
Got that negate?
Well, he drew the one that got tucked already.
My sources say no here. Justice Strike. Yeah, nib on the board is makes things a little lopsided.
Yep.
All right, here comes the swing for 5, and I think this will lead a seal away, which is great for Jesse, because otherwise that card is dead.
For 5.
All right, so Jesse kind of baited him there. He asked him for it, and he did it.
Asked him for it.
Okay.
So sometimes you got to bait him.
Yeah, sometimes you got to bait him. You're not wrong. Jesse's still in a hole here with Brice having 2 Teferis in hand. Obviously doesn't know about that.
Yeah, he's drawn. He's just seen so many cards. And seeing that many cards is just too good. Always very good in the Magic the Gathering format.
Yeah, I like to look at cards.
Sometimes people come up and be like, you want to trade? I'll go through their binders just to look at their Magic cards. No intention of actually trading them anything.
Yeah, I don't do that, but I believe that you do.
You've met me. You know too much.
All right, so
All right,
Brice is going to get another chance at Teferi here.
Yeah. Sinister Sabotage. That's how we know we have nice mics. We can cast cards like Sinister Sabotage, and there's no real crackly S's across them.
Sinister Sabotage. Man, no follow-up? That was not well planned by Brice.
No, it looks like he's got some other cards. He's got 2 Explosion Expansion,
Really?
another Teferi. Here's a nib visit from Jesse.
So if he... Can't he expansion the Sinister Sabotage to make his Teferi resolve?
Yes, that's the thing he can do.
That's a sorcery.
We just opted to not do that?
Yeah, well, he wanted to cast his sorcery
Trigger. Take one.
and
So we
fight
just-
with fire. Chemistry's Insight's an instant.
Yeah, but why are we letting Jesse draw cards off of that?
There's another fight with fire.
Unkicked. Trigger. Want to draw? Yep. You take one. 18.
All right, an unkicked fight with fire.
Trigger. Yeah. Draw. Take one.
So we're gonna sabotage, drawing 2 cards.
Just letting it resolve. Okay.
We're sabotaging the fight with fire. Oh yeah, Brice is letting sabotage resolve.
All right, well. I'm going to land for turn Drake.
Yeah, Drake's good.
Like the force of will here.
Not really.
Well, I mean it's good in that it resolved.
Yeah, sure.
It's right.
All right, so Jesse looks like he's going to win this one by the sheer fact that Brice doesn't have any idea what's going on.
So explain to me what's going on. I mean,
It's a little bit of a nuanced play, but you can expansion your opponent's Sinister Sabotage, I believe, unless I'm missing something. Expansion, copy target instant or sorcery spell, convert mana cost 4 or less. You may choose new targets. Sinister Sabotage does not have hexproof as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Pulling up just to make sure.
or split second.
Sinister Sabotage, no hexproof, just Surveil 1, which is pretty good still. But you can just expansion that to act as like a negate almost. Just opting not to do that to protect your Teferi or the Fight with Fire. Additionally, Niv Mizzet lets you draw cards whenever any player plays in their sorcery.
Yeah.
And he opted to draw cards at the end of Jesse's turn instead of in response to Niv Mizzet.
Yep.
Just giving Jesse a free card. So there's a lot of missed stuff going on.
All right. So Jesse's going to play Explosion.
Listen, if they're used to playing the card, then they should have read the entirety of the card.
Does it work like that? Yeah, I copied the whole spell.
It's converted mana cost 4 or less.
No, so X is 0 for count.
I hope, I'm not going to stop them, but I hope they call a judge,
All
which
right, they
they've
call a
just done.
judge.
Because,
You can't
So-
copy that because it's not converted mana cost 4 or less.
right, so X's or zeros everywhere but the stack. When
Correct.
the spell's on the stack, the X is whatever value we've put into X.
So while they're calling this judge, we've got this subscriber-only January giveaway going on.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know all about it.
What am I giving the subscribers in January?
Depends on how many subscribers we have. So you don't need any tickets. This includes Twitch Prime subscribers. So all subscribers. Giveaways based on the number of subscribers we get. So at 30 subscribers, we're giving away Back to Basics. from
Oh,
Ultimate
man,
Masters.
really?
Yeah, it's a pretty nice one. At 40 subscribers, we're giving away a Dark Depths.
Okay.
At 60 subscribers, we're giving away a foil Mana Vault.
That's nice.
That is nice. The
Love that card.
giveaway will end, and the winner will be chosen on January 31st during our Thursday Modern stream. So be sure to check out there.
You can do it with a kicked Fight with Fire, right? Yeah.
All right.
Because it's not the actual mana.
So we've got
So Jesse wins that one due to his large expansion explosion.
Correct. It's the same mode.
a big old explosion.
Yeah. Niv Mizzet plus explosion, A1.
A1.
Why are we both playing terribly?
I feel like I gotta. I feel like one of our friends who likes to play some rough Magic the Gathering cards. Oh, he didn't make that much money on them. It's a $5 foil right now.
What is?
Expansion Explosion.
Likes to play rough Magic the Gathering cards.
He likes to play bad cards. I don't think Expansion Explosion's a bad card. It's not a good card though.
It's solid.
Anybody in his house? Any homeless?
Anyway, Jack bought some foil ones
Okay,
for like $1 a piece.
sure.
Back like pre-release time.
I would be surprised if there was any card that is printed in foil that says draw X cards that Jack doesn't own.
Homeless and panhandle?
Interesting.
Buy a house. Just rack the riches.
All right, so the sideboarding really cleans this matchup up because there's a lot of dead cards.
Yeah, there's so many dead cards, I think, in fact, that you can't get them all out. But,
Well, it makes it interesting. You'll see Jesse's got some Legion War Bosses in.
yeah, I think they both have Legion War Boss. Those are both coming in.
So does that mean that you have to keep in Deafening Clarions? And we take out things like Settle the Wreckage?
No.
Okay.
You definitely want to take out Settle the Wreckage, though.
Yeah.
You keep in, like, your Justice Strikes
Uh-huh.
and things like that that are cheap and efficient ways to deal with Legion War Boss.
Right.
If you can't get out all of your Deafening Clarions, then sure, you can take it out. Just doesn't do much. I guess it's a pretty clean answer for it. Yeah, if I'm looking at Jesse's deck, he's got Sealaways, which if you don't have Justice Strike, that's a good one to take out.
Right.
Settle the Wreckages, he's pulling to the front. That's definitely one to take out.
The card that he's looking at that I would leave in is Revitalize. Because, like, if we can't, if it's a situation where there's too many cards to take out, a cycler is better than a not cycler.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wasn't sure if you were going to play around it or not, so I just was like, we'll see what happens.
I know Sealway's kind of been iffy in some lists, so.
Yeah, a lot of them play either strike or seal, sure. And had I not
Okay, so there was a card spoiled today
Oh yeah.
that I think potentially slots right into this Jeskai control deck, maybe into an Esper control deck, if that's the flavor that you want to go with.
Okay.
Let me know if you've heard of this one, as I don't actually remember the name of it. It's Dovin and something. So it's an enchantment. Here it is, Dovin's Acuity. It's an enchantment. It costs 1, a white, and a blue. When it enters the
Okay.
battlefield, you gain 2 life and draw a card.
Holy smokes.
And whenever you cast an instant spell during your main phase, you can return it to its owner's hand.
All right. Dovin's Acuity.
So it's a little bit like the Disinformation campaign in that it's a repeatable card advantage
Yeah.
with like a trigger to pick up an enchantment. Very similar in that regard. Very different in that it's not as much card advantage, but that 2 life goes a long way in some matchups.
Yeah.
lightning bolt, and then you get
So
light up the stage, but it's
I'm wondering how many like
just be Rakdos, right? On 7
counter spells you have to play in these control decks.
volley, lightning bolt, just all one.
Whereas,
Not a lot.
yeah, like so if you don't care if like your big play is Settle the Wreckage on 4, this is a great 3.
Well, no, you have to cast the instant
I'm not
spell
saying
during
I'm
your
not
main
saying they
phase.
directly interact.
Oh,
I'm saying if you don't care about countering their 3rd turn creature spell
yeah.
because you're just going to settle it the next turn,
Yeah, I don't think...
I'm fine spending my turn 3 on this.
Sure.
But if I do want to do that, I'm not. You know what I mean? If I have to choose between this and Sinister Sabotage, I don't want this card in my deck.
Okay. So I don't think I don't think it's good against the same decks.
Okay.
So like you're gonna let a turn 3 creature resolve with the Sinister Sabotage most of the time.
Yeah.
That's just not what that card's for. It's for bigger threats and like generating mana advantage in the late game. Whereas this can negate an attack, draw a card.
So I think against a true aggro deck, you will counterspell their 3rd turn creature.
Oh, I understand.
Because there is
you're
no-
100%
there-
going to counter whatever, but you don't want to. That's
There-
not the card you want there.
There is no spot in which you're going to gain mana advantage. Like you might
Right.
counter their Domery Rod or something, gain 1 mana on them,
Yeah.
but you're not countering their whatever.
Right, I'm just saying if that's what the slot's for, then you would rather just play Essence Scatter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting card to think about. You play it all you want. I don't think it's that good.
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Think it's pretty good. There's a lot of instants that you probably should be casting on your turn, and it plays well with, obviously, the mechanic for
Right, Azorius.
Azorius. A lot of incidental life gain in that deck.
Yeah, a lot of incidental life gain. I could see, games feeling like you start at like 40.
40.
I'm excited that we got the Simic Uncommon, the uncommon that's color.
Yeah, that card's a house, too.
Frilled Mystic. It's a 3/2 with flash, and it enters the battlefield. You may counter target spell. So this is just, in my opinion, a way better Mystic Snake.
Way better Mystic Snake.
Yeah, so like Mystic Snake.
It's way
was-
harder to cast Mystic Snake.
Mystic Snake was 1 green, blue.
Right.
This is only, instead of the colorless, you have to pay it green,
Yeah.
and you get a whole other power.
Yeah, but that's exponentially more difficult to cast.
And additionally, furthermore, this is an elf.
Whoa!
So slots right into your elf deck.
I don't know about that, but it is a hell of a Magic the Gathering card. I'll give you that.
Yes,
Legion War Boss?
I'll be playing it.
Go to combat?
All right, we see Jesse with War Boss advantage early. I think I think our spotter's going to make us talk about one of his favorites. Is that
Throw
what's
it up
happening
there.
there?
Throw it up there. We'll talk about it.
Throw it up there. We'll talk about it. Let's see if Brice can.
There we go. The Priest of Forgotten Gods. So I have some pretty strong opinions about this card,
Okay.
but I'm going to let you go to town on it.
It's a 1/2 for 2. Sacrifice 2 other creatures. Any number of target players each lose 2 life and sacrifice creature. You had black, black, and draw a card. This card is a nice one.
Yeah.
I think it's really good in limited.
Oh, obviously.
I think it's probably, it might be okay in constructed standard, but it's definitely like the most fun in a commander deck.
A commander deck, sure.
Like I think I could see that being like a really fun card to play in like a
Okay.
a Gov commander deck or something like that.
Yeah, just any commander deck, really. It's strong. Any commander deck that can support that black mana and has enough creatures.
Yep.
So I'm looking at these new cards purely in the scope of standard.
Oh, okay.
What I'm talking about
Okay,
in
you
here?
wanted me to do just a standard
No,
evaluation?
you can do whatever evaluation you want. I'm just telling you that's where I'm coming from when I say this.
Right.
But this card is like vastly overrated.
Okay.
Having 2 other creatures to sacrifice, period, is a very high cost.
Yep.
Making them sacrifice a creature isn't always going to be relevant, and the 2 life lost, I can't speak today, the 2 life lost isn't really worth the high cost. You get some mana and a card, which is nice, and a sack effect, which you can use that to advantage, obviously, as we talked about last week.
Right.
As I'm sure we'll talk about more tonight. But we're coming into a standard environment where we have Deafening Clarion, we have Settle the Wreckage, we have Cleansing Nova, we're adding a 4-mana Wrath.
Yep.
The
The black, black, white, white one.
Yeah, if you want all the creatures on the board to be dead, then you can do that very easily at any time. Like, that's just something you can do.
Yes.
So the fact that you need to have that card, you need to untap with that card, and there needs to be 2 additional creatures on the board, it's asking a lot.
I think this standard environment is going to be very interesting because there's a lot of the creatures are getting real powerful. Some of these Riot guys are real big,
Yeah.
and they're at every spot of the curve. And
A lot of cool cards.
I think that going up against the amount of board sweepers there are is going to create a really interesting standard format.
So I think the level 0 is either going to be mono red or Rakdos, quote unquote, burn.
Yeah.
And then the level 1 can be like these mid-range decks, but then these big board wipe control decks are going to come down, and then you just have these burn decks left over that are just going to completely run over them because they don't care about board wipes. They have like 8 creatures in the deck.
Right. So we see Jesse wipe that matchup with Legion War Bosses. He had 2 of them there.
Yeah.
And Brice had, opportunities to deal with them, but Jesse was able to foil those plans.
Yeah, he had answers, but Jesse had answers for answers. So there you go.
Yeah, I think that analysis of the metagame isn't far off.
Oh. Okay.
I think when it comes back around to the burn decks being very good again, that's when your mid-range black green or Mardu decks are going to really start to shine.
So the burn decks have so many bolts.
Yes. It's going to be fun to play.
Yeah.
Experiment.
You get a lot of direct burn now. You can play the Hasty Wizard. You need some number of wizards to turn on Wizard's Lightning to make it an actual bolt.
Yep.
Which you absolutely want to do.
I like this mirror.
You get to play
I've seen some control
the Viashino guy,
Wizard.
the Flamekin or Flame Steamkin or whatever.
Not a wizard.
Not a wizard, no. I think those are the only 8 wizards you get are the Haste guy and the Viashino guy. That's fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. I'd like 2 more.
You want 16 wizards?
No, I want 10 wizards total in my deck.
All right, well, I think that's a bit greedy, but
Listen,
here we are.
my greed knows no bounds. What's this guy? This guy's in.
Yeah, that's a heater.
It's a human shaman, the old Fireblade artist.
Yeah, there's not a lot of red wizards in here.
Yep, not a lot of red wizards.
But it's
Yeah, that could just run away with the game.
I don't think you need it. I don't think you need to be that greedy. I think 8 is a good number.
Okay, I just gotta be play careful with them.
Yeah, just be careful.
End the game so fast.
Maybe not run your guy out there turn 1.
Yeah, like what are you supposed to do about that?
Not a lot to ask for, but it's there. But yeah, you get to play a lot of sweet cards. You get to do a lot of burning. That'll be a fun deck right when rotation happens, right when we get the new set. These control decks just have all the tools. It feels like they just came off of having like one deck be very powerful in standard to like no decks being very powerful in standard.
And like across these last 2 sets, they've really unleashed.
Yeah, they're like, all right, well, every deck's powerful in standard. Let's see what happens.
I'm all about being there. I think the last time we had this was Khan's block, and because the mana was so good, we never found out which deck was the best because all the decks became very homogenous.
We knew which deck was the best.
Right. It was just this like, but it was like very before Rally the Ancestors.
Okay.
All the decks were super homogenous. Before that deck became like discovered and
Right.
you know, and now what we're gonna do is you're definitely gonna have to play either inside a guild or a shard, for
Yes,
sure.
For sure.
You don't get the
You don't get the 4-color decks.
You don't get the 4-color decks, and I think you're gonna have to pay a price for a 3-color deck.
It depends. So if you're playing Jade Light Rangers and Bedevils, you're definitely going to pay a price.
Sure.
But if you are responsible with like the cards that you put in your deck
Yeah.
and like you're mindful,
Yeah.
then yeah. Yes, before we found the best deck, we didn't know what the best deck was. That is an accurate description of what we're talking about.
No. Before we found the best deck, it was just all like this 4-color Mardu green deck.
Wasn't it all green-white at that point?
So there was Mardu green, there was green white. I played in the RPTQ for this season. I'm trying to remember what decks we played against. I had a Jeskai black deck that I abandoned to play. No, I did play Jeskai black, but that was the wrong choice. Mardu green was the right choice.
Gotcha. Hey, Woken. Thanks for popping in. All right, we've got a couple minutes before the next round. We're going to go see what people are playing, and we'll be back here soon.
All right.